I'm looking forward to this storytelling duels.
It's gonna be.
You walk into a building and things happen.
Oh shit! What do you do?
You see some monsters and a man.
Kill the man.
The man is wearing clothes.
I take them.
The man was Nick.
Wait,
hang on. He wasn't wearing clothes. Come on.
I'm role-playing as a nudist.
Yes, role playing.
Man, Nick, you're really getting into character.
Good thing this is just an audio podcast. Hey, welcome to a special episode of Front Seat Gamer. This is going to be a short series where we play Rory Rackham's role-playing game, Seven Gates.
That's me. I'm Rory Rackham.
That's Rory Rackham.
I'm not Seven Gates.
We have a special guest, Ed, today.
Woo!
And, of course, Blake is here as well. Severn couldn't be here because he doesn't like to roleplay.
He likes a different kind of roleplay.
So we're going to get started. If you're expecting talk about video games, you might want to wait a few weeks. Okay, take it away, Rory.
It all started with what seems like a fairy tale. An old mage king enchanted a thorn so that any who were cut by the thorn would be cursed. A seed would be planted in their heart, spreading tendrils to wrap around their bones, driving them to madness. What the mage king had not predicted was that the one cut by the thorn would in turn grow thorns, and any they pricked would also be overtaken, and so on and so forth. It is in this manner that the empires of men crumbled, followed by the spiderkin of the woods and jungles, in the quicksilver constructs of the western wastes. As civilization after civilization crumbled, those who had fled or fought rallied under one banner, and laid siege to the greatest of the thorned hordes in the ancient jungle city of Vesthi. Though the armies were outnumbered, they pushed through the swarms of the thorn-touched towards the defensible heart of the city. There they were horrified to find the citadel overtaken by a colossal, thorny titan. Just when hope seemed lost, a light appeared in the sky, a beautiful, blazing sun blossoming in the night. The armies cheered in elation, taking it as a sign of providence, but it was no such thing. A flare of blinding light struck the land, scorching the ground that the armies stood upon. In moments their numbers were reduced to ash. The sun continued to incinerate the land under it, chasing down the retreating forces. Many of those that escaped were driven into the thorny hordes, but others escaped into the city outskirts, seeking shelter. And it's in the outskirts that we start our story. All three of you, have found yourself in the shallow grave, one of the few places left in the world where you can get a stiff drink. The walls have been boarded up 100 times from repeat thorn attacks, but Varna still defends the old watering hole against the thorns with the aid of any of those that need a drink. Looking around, you see other patrons, their eyes dulled by conflict and need. The barkeep, however, she welcomes you over and says, "Oh, boys, come forward. Your faces I haven't seen in a long time. I'm sorry, it's been a while. You'll have to reintroduce yourselves."
Oh, how convenient. No, you know me from long ago.
You're Petyr, is it? I can never pronounce your name.
It's a spider tongue. That's why it's hard for your
right.
Weird human mouth to speak.
That's racist. But carry on.
My name is Petyr Bakar.
How is that spelled?
Don't ask.
Okay.
I am as you can see, I'm a spiderkin.
I can see that.
I'm a spiderman.
I'm actually a little bit, my eyes are going a bit, you'll need to describe exactly what you look like to me, just because...
I never thought of that. I have 8 eyes. I have mandibles.
Okay. You're basically a giant spider, you're saying.
No, I have arms and legs.
How many?
I have 4 arms and 2 legs.
So that doesn't sound like a spider at all. That sounds like just an insect.
And 2 extra little
I have
bits on the front or something?
Look, okay. Alright, if we want to get into my backstory here. I was in the war.
The war.
The war.
Against the Thorns.
And 2 of my arms were cut off. I don't appreciate you bringing
I'm
attention
sorry.
to that. It's a very sore subject.
Still?
Yeah. What, would you like to, like, a quarter of your limbs to be cut off?
No. Are you threatening me?
Oh, it's an offer.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up your sorted past. Sorted? So, you there, the one with the... Is that a scythe? Are you carrying a scythe?
Oi, that's me, Scythe. I'm Steve the Necromancer.
Shit, I didn't do a voice.
Is this accent gonna last? How long is this gonna last?
We'll see how it does.
This is how we talk.
Okay, yep.
It's from any small villages. When the Thorns they took me wife,
Oh, man.
old Murta. I was wrecked. But I joined the armies, did me part. Sad days.
You don't have to tell me about it. And you over there?
I am Len.
Hi, Len.
How's it going?
It's alright, I suppose.
I don't really remember much about the war. I was only a teenager when we had to flee the city.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, I've just been living on the outskirts, scraping food together. I'm very hungry. What have you got to eat?
Mead. We have mead.
Okay, that's not really...
It's surprisingly filling.
Oh,
Just
okay.
go ahead.
Liquid
On the
bread,
house.
me grandpapa used to call it.
I understand.
Thank you, barkeep.
You're quite welcome. I understand the 3 of you are planning to do something rather reckless and dangerous. You're going to assault the Citadel, just the 3 of you.
Who told you this?
I've heard about it. And an old man who was sitting beside you. I told her. I told her you're going to do it. Yes, and it is.
Frank, you gotta stop spreading these rumors about
Frank, you're drunk.
It's destiny. I've seen it.
Yeah, everything's destiny with you, Frank.
Okay, you're right. It wasn't destiny. I just made it up. But you should do it. She like interrupts Frank and says, "To be fair, you 3 are probably the most skilled combatants that I've seen in this tavern in a very long time. I think if you're going to head towards the Citadel, I think you might actually have a good chance of finding out what's in the middle of it, what the Thorns are so desperate to protect.
Can you give us any tips? What should we bring with us?
Don't get cut by any of the Thorns. I see you're already wearing like well-protected armor, but the Thorns are sharp and they can pierce through anything, and as one prick and your mind will start to be overtaken. There are some that have resisted the Thorns in the past, but don't tempt fate, is what I'm trying to say.
Can you tell me more about the people who have resisted the Thorns in the past?
Well, usually it's those of very strong mind and character.
Uh-oh.
And
How about people with a lot of vigor?
I suppose you could potentially just try and pull the Thorns out if you're sufficiently vigorous and quick enough with your hands. Yes.
The ladies tell me I am very quick with my hands.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I don't want to know. Okay.
They are very disappointed.
Right. Okay, I'm going to... It's closing time, guys.
That's fair.
So I'm afraid that the 3 of you are going to have to leave.
So we have
Just the 3 of us?
Just the 3
Okay,
of you.
yeah.
And Frank. Please take Frank with you.
All right. Come
Frank.
on, Frank.
I'm not going. He's not going, I'm sorry. Okay.
I think Frank and the barkeep are having an affair.
Alright, let's head to the Citadel, shall we?
All right, let's head there.
Now, I'm just going to describe what's laid out in front of us for our listeners. We've got, if you haven't listened to a previous episode with Rory where we play 7 Gates, we each have 3 decks of cards. One of them is our combat deck, which is where we have all of our skills. Another one is our life deck, which is how we track our hit points. The third one is our, how would you describe this? Our talents deck?
Talents, yes. The whenever you want to do something that doesn't come under your combat skills.
Right. If
Comes from
for
your
example, I
talents.
wanted to look for a magical artifact in our room, I might use the talents deck.
Yes.
And then in front of us is a series of white squares, which I'm assuming at some point will be a combat battlefield.
Yes.
We'll post a photo on our Facebook page.
Yep.
Or
And
something.
probably I'll try to put stuff on WordPress as well.
You will try to put stuff on WordPress as well.
Excellent.
Cool.
So,
So there's nothing else around except for a tavern and a citadel.
Yeah, we're standing outside the tavern right now.
As you leave the tavern, you get your sort of momentarily blinded by the suns. You
Early
might
closing
remember.
then.
Yes. Well, the sun's the real sun is setting, although the artificial sun, the one that wiped out the armies, is sort of floating near to the citadel. But all around you is jungle for miles. There is an ancient road that you now stand upon, which is what this tavern has been built on, that stretches off towards the citadel. You can see Mightstone Citadel just far off in the distance, and even from here you can see thorns crawling up the side of it. It's actually kind of beautiful how green the city itself is. You can see trees sprouting above the city walls. But all along the path to the citadel, there are colossal trees that have sort of been in the past cut back that are now starting to grow over the road, and dotted through them are large clusters of thorns, thick thorn bushes, which some may be natural, but some are certainly like if you dig under them, you've seen this before. If you dig through them, you'll find corpses of long dead thorn soldiers that have sort of sprouted into full-blown thorn bushes.
Sounds gross.
So in this world, we definitely don't want to get stabbed by these thorns because
Well, have any of you been pricked by a thorn before? Or seen someone being pricked by a thorn before?
My wife.
Oh, your wife. Okay. Yeah, so it takes a while for the thorns to grow. At first it feels just sort of like aching in the bones, but then it feels like as if thorns are being stabbed into your flesh from the inside.
Sounds very uncomfortable.
It is it is incredibly painful, and after a while the thorns will start to emerge. Sometimes the thorns emerge before it gets painful, and that's usually how it spreads, where you accidentally pat someone on the shoulder and don't realize there was a thorn on your hand, and now it starts passing between them. They're magical in nature, but they grow in you like plants. But from
like
the
plants do.
inside.
Inside you.
I heard that happens if you swallow a watermelon seed.
I heard the same with apples. Yeah.
Okay.
Just seeds in general, actually. Just
Right.
avoid seeds.
Yeah.
or plants.
Yeah.
really.
Why do not eat
Only
multi
eat
bread.
meat.
Strictly meat.
Okay, Petyr and Steve,
Meat.
shall we head to the citadel?
Reckon we
Or-
should.
Have we got travel supplies?
Yeah, let's check our supplies. How are our supplies?
You have food for another 3 or 4 days' journey. You have ropes. You have. Do any of you have subterfuge? You've got some crappily made 3 thieves' tools that you can use
Okay.
in an emergency. You've got some weights because you lift.
I've decided to carry the weights with me because that seems like a good idea.
You never know when you need to.
I'm going on a journey. Time to bring my weights.
And you've clearly got some books with you.
Yep.
Just walking along.
Yes. Stay
Oh,
pumped.
this pack is really heavy.
So Petyr has some
I'm really
books.
regretting
and
this.
some,
Take out your weight kit. You know?
and
This is going to come in handy for sure.
This better come in handy one day.
and you have generally what you need to get by, water and so on. So
Right.
Excellent.
you're well-versed travellers. You know.
Do I have a weapon?
You do have a weapon.
I have a blade.
Mm-hmm.
Does everyone else? What else? What have you got there, Steve?
We've got me old grandpappy's skull.
Okay.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Steve's pretty dark. Steve's got some issues.
Oh.
No, there's a good reason for this now. Me grandpappy, right? He had these power crystals,
Okay.
and so no one would steal them. He fused them into the back of his skull. Now when he died,
Of course.
couldn't quite pass them on because they were fused into his skull.
Uh huh.
So, tried to check him out with hammer. Lost me hammer. Damn thing exploded. So I just put his skull on a rope.
On a rope?
Yep. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You got a skull on a rope.
I'm satisfied with that
I
explanation.
got me grandpappy's skull on a rope.
Does Petyr have a skull on a rope as well?
He wishes he had a skull on a rope. No, Petyr just has...
He's got a leg bone on a chain.
Yes. He's got a bag full of knuckle bones. No, Petyr just has magic spells. He just uses the power of his mind. He has mind bullets.
Mind bullets.
Yeah.
Okay. But no mind
I've heard.
gun? Or...
No, it's just the bullets.
Mind bullets are very popular.
It's very much like him. He has...
The mind is the gun.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that is what you have on you. You're also just wearing thick armor to protect you from thorns.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's never foolproof. Never foolproof.
I thought thick armor's not heavy enough, so bring the weights along.
Wait.
Exactly.
All right, so let's...
Which direction is the citadel?
That way. North.
All right, we'll go.
Let's head north.
Okay. So while you're traveling, I suppose, do you have any particular subjects you want to discuss while on the way? Anything new? You've been away from this part of the world for a while, so...
How about these thorns?
Roads are a bit unkempt.
They certainly are. So while you're wandering and talking, would you mind giving me a check from your skills deck and to see what you can spot? A spot
Okay.
check, you might
So
say.
that's just a fumble.
It's gonna shuffle.
So Petyr
Just to
fumbles.
make sure.
I'm looking through the trees. I'm looking up the road. I'm checking under bushes. That's wrong deck. Excellent attempt.
I'm clearly reading my book.
Excellent attempt.
Excellent attempt.
Do we want to explain what just happened to listeners, because since they can't see, and
Yeah.
do we want to just say that?
We've each pulled a card from our talents deck, in an effort to figure out where we're going, if there's anything useful around, if there's anybody around.
Usually,
Petyr has fumbled his attempt, and Steve and Len have both had an excellent attempt. What's the outcome?
So ahead of you, you see some movement in the bushes. It looks like when you stand one of you stands still for a second and looks closely, it looks like there is someone sort of down on all fours, and almost certainly they have thorns wrapped around them. They're not very well armored.
Is this a human or
It looks like it
humanoid?
it is a human, or at least was a human, depending on your definition of what makes a human. When they have thorns wrapped around them. And it looks like there might be more. You spot that there might be more than one. There might be.
I'm gonna.
Petyr doesn't notice and is just continuing walking forward, reading his book.
Okay.
I'm going to cautiously approach.
Okay. So as you approach, you sort of see them like disappear into the bushes, but it looks like they haven't like gone off into the forest. So it looks like they're going to prepare to ambush you. If we put them on the battlefield, not that a battle will take place. I'm sure they're perfectly friendly people hiding in bushes.
We need someone with some subterfuge to prepare to ambush them, I think.
I don't know who that would be.
I'm feeling pretty vigorous. So, by the way, I should explain, we've each chosen 3 trait cards, which I believe will be used
I like
to
rerolls,
some
right?
degree.
Yes, that's right. So if one of you gets a result you do not like on your skill check, you'll be able to use one of your trait cards to make a second attempt. Or a third.
It's kind of
if
like
you've got multiple.
having advantage on a roll in D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Petyr Pakar has 2 intelligences and a charm. Steve has 2 charms and a subterfuge. And Len has 3 vigors.
Very
Because
vigorous.
I'm so vigorous.
You have to be, because you're carrying around
Unbelievably
all
vigorous.
vigorous.
I just love weights. I love them.
What's your favourite weight?
All of them.
You can't pick. They're all
Yeah.
so wonderful.
I don't play favorites with
1
my weights.
kg all the way to 1.
Yeah. More.
More?
More than that.
God.
Name a number.
So
23.
I love it. I love that many weights.
Awesome.
So, Petyr, you're about here now because you're just casually walking forward without recognizing what's going on.
We're now placing our miniatures on the squares. Petyr is up front. Steve is behind Petyr. Where is Len? Also, this isn't Len.
Oh. That's Len, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Len here.
Who is this?
That's a dwarf.
That's a dwarf smoking a pipe with a
probably
butcher's
Frank.
axe and a...
Why wasn't I that guy?
Yeah, that's...
You can swap now if you want.
I'm the dwarf with the pipe.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do the accent then, because that would be dwarf
He
racist.
has a cleaver and a gun, because you need both. How's he gonna reload? No, it doesn't matter.
Well, so you're going to be stepping behind, are you? You're going to carry up the rear?
I was gonna lead the front. But
All right.
I'm happy
okay.
to.
So your friend, your Spiderkin friend,
Is
your
our-
companion
yeah.
is taking a step ahead. He hasn't spotted the ambush ahead.
Petyr.
What?
Petyr.
What? What?
Petyr.
What?
Careful.
Shut up, I'm reading. I'm reading about thorns.
Oh.
And I'm reading about what to do when you get ambushed.
Oh no, we're being ambushed.
Oh, God, I haven't finished that chapter yet.
Cliff notes.
Okay, so you're ambushed, and combat begins. So I'm going to shuffle your guys' character cards, and we'll work out which order battle will take place in.
Now for these talent cards, do they just stay discarded?
Just reshuffle them back into your
Okay.
talent deck once you're done with the check.
Good stuff.
Okay, so first up, we have Len making the first move,
Ooh, feeling vigorous.
and right at the very end, quite appropriately, is Petyr.
Yes, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do that on purpose, or was that just a random?
That is random chance.
No way.
I mean, it's fate, obviously.
It is.
Okay.
So Len, you draw 3 cards
Yep.
from your skill deck.
1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, for those who haven't heard 7 Gates before, the way combat works is we draw 3 cards from our combat deck. We can play one of those cards and move in the same turn. We can also trade one of our card actions for another move. And if none of our card actions are suitable, we can discard one of the cards to use a melee attack with our weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever our weapon is. It may not be melee. It's just we use our basic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Ahead of me, I see 2 thorned humanoids, and they're both hidden behind thorn patches. Now, thorn patches on the battlefield say, if you enter this, you take 3 damage and are infected. I probably want to stay out of the way of those.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to move northwest and use jump gate.
Okay.
So that's me with the pipe and the cleaver.
Yep.
And the gun there. So I'm going to use jump gate. This is a tile effect. I get to place this on the tile. During my turn, you may teleport as a move action to this tile and teleport a combatant in melee with you. At the end of any turn, you can discard this tile effect and deal 5 damage to foes in range 1 of it. So I'm going to place that there.
Okay. So
Seems
now
like
you've
it's
got
safely far away from the thorns.
So what to these guys, to these non-rifters, what does that look like when you do that?
I wave my arms around my waist and space distorts below my feet and runic markings appear.
Excellent. Okay, next on the list we have these guys here. So they're going to burst out of the bushes, seeing that you're already doing some sort of magic-y stuff. And they are... Actually, this one's going to move into the thorn patch. He doesn't get infected by the thorns. He's fine.
Oh,
just
he's
gonna-
already a thorn zombie.
Yeah.
Careful! Don't go into... Oh, okay. Right.
Don't help them.
And while the one that's closest to you is going to attempt to use a skill, and he is out of range, so he fails to use the skill.
And I still haven't noticed. Since he failed.
Yeah. There's a guy running towards you, and you're just reading a book. Okay, next up,
What to do in an ambush?
we have
I'll
Steve.
skip that, that'll never happen.
Alright. Steve's gonna stay right where he is. And I'm gonna use Reeve,
Okay.
which is deal 4 damage to a foe in range of 1 or 2, and then pull them. Actually, is pulling optional? No,
no.
it's not.
Unless it says otherwise.
Sorry, Blake. This is gonna pull a monster at you.
Who?
I mean, sorry, Petyr.
Just say Peter Parker.
I refuse.
Oh, I get it now. Okay. Okay, so you deal 4 damage to this guy here.
Yeah.
And pull him right to where Petyr is.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with Petyr for copyright reasons. Okay.
Sounds cooler than Peter.
So what does that look like, out of interest?
Well, I pull up my grandpappy's skull, and it shoots out like a necrotic blast out his face.
Okay.
Skull face.
Right.
Skull pukes necrotically.
Okay,
The puke
you know
wraps
that
around.
kind of like green lighty, like spirity kind of.
Green necrotic stuff.
Yeah.
Spew.
No, kind of like energy. You know, it's like an
Yeah.
energy blast.
Excellent. Excellent.
Actually, no. Oosh, change of plan.
Whoa.
Spirit hands.
What the fuck?
Because they come out and they grab the monster.
Oh.
They
Are
pull
they
them.
doing like jazz fingers?
As they approach, yeah. They approach with jazz hands, grab the monster, yank him forward, and it hurts a bit.
The creature hisses as it's pulled and finds itself right next to the... Do you wear robes? Are you a robe-wearing type guy? What sort of stuff are you
Petyr.
wearing?
I think he's
Petyr.
more of a unitard.
It's
pulls towards
it's
the
red
spider
and
kid.
blue. with cobweb pattern.
It's got a 6-legged humanoid logo on the front of it.
Yep. I have a mask that I'm not wearing at the moment. You know what? Robes. Yeah, robes.
Robes?
Is cool.
Okay, so he's pulled towards the robe thing and sort of skids to a stop right in front of you. It is now... It turns out there were more of them in the bushes. These ones... One of them is actually wielding a bow, while there is another one with a spear that sort of stay back. The one with the bow aims for a second and then takes a shot at Petyr as he's in direct line of fire.
Whoa, my spiderkin senses.
That's not a thing. You take...
Nothing happens because it's not a thing.
A bolt flies directly at you and strikes you in the shoulder, and you take 4 damage.
4. So we have life decks.
Yes.
Which I'm now removing 4 cards
I'm
on.
gonna shuffle mine. The important thing about life decks is they each... Is it each of them?
Yes.
They each have a special card in them, which is triggered when it is revealed in response to damage taken, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is a defensive maneuver, sometimes it is an offensive maneuver.
Based on whatever the class
Yes.
would most appreciate.
But it is a skill that is only triggered by damage.
Mm-hmm. And the other one is going to stand back, and in a feat quite unlike any Thorn creature you've heard before, he says, "Be careful, they look dangerous." This is the first time that you've heard a Thorn thing speak.
Who says that? Can we tell?
The large one wielding a spear that's right at the back.
Huh.
I shout in response, "We are dangerous!"
Damn it.
It is Petyr's turn. He's noticed that a Thorn creature skidded to a stop in front of him.
Oh my.
Sorry about that.
What's going on here? Okay, I am going to use unstable. Unstable anarchy is
Okay.
what I'm renaming it to.
Cool.
Because it's too hard to pronounce. All right, so flip 3 coins. For each heads, deal 1 damage to foes in range 1. For each tails, deal 3 damage to a foe in range 1 and 1 damage to me. but I'm also going to combo that with my ultimate Hand of Fate. When you're about to flip a coin, you may reveal this coin. If it lands on heads, deal 6 damage to a foe in range 2, then discard. If it lands on tails, deal 2 damage to all foes in range 2. So they're in range. These guys are in range 2.
They are, yes, because you're right up front.
Right, but I will focus
On the guy
actually in front of me.
Okay.
The way ranges work in this game is if something is on your square, it's in melee range. Any square surrounding that square is range 1, and any square surrounding those squares is range 2.
So Petyr is firing at the creature that's still hiding behind the bushes, but that's still within his range.
And so my class is Chaos Mage, and so he has a lot of 50-50 type spells that blow up, mostly.
It's interesting you chose Peter Parker as your inspiration when Two-Face is actually a character who does exactly what you're doing.
But he's
But
Spider Two-Face.
there was no Two-Face race to play.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. All right. First
I'll-
coin flip aimed at this guy.
Okay.
Tails.
So he takes 3 damage, and you take 1 damage.
How do you feel, Petyr? He's reading his card.
And then if this lands on tails, which it did, this is my combo. Deal 2 damage to you and all foes in range 2. So I take another 2 damage, and everyone there takes 2 damage, and I'm seriously getting damaged.
So Petyr is on the brink of death after doing one thing.
All right, next flip. Heads, 1 damage to all foes in range 1. So 1 damage to just that guy.
Okay.
You're our healer, right?
Yep. Heads and 1 damage to that guy again.
Okay. So
Hand of Fate, Unstable Anarchy. It's fire, and it's just flamethrowers from the hands.
okay.
In all directions.
flailing
in all directions, but kind of singed the guys at the back, but mostly got the guy in the front, and also hurt myself pretty bad in the process.
Okay.
And I'm now on, and I'm
Your
Are you
cloak is
on
erupting
fire?
in flames.
I'm kind of on fire.
Okay, and you're the healer of the group.
I'm the
to be
healer.
Clear. Okay.
Just we'll make that real clear. Our healer is on fire. It's his own doing.
One of the creatures, this one here, says, "What is he doing?"
There's fire everywhere.
Next up, we have Len. It's back to the top of the
Okay.
round.
The greatest heroes in the land.
I draw a card.
Yes, from the tavern, everyone's watching.
These guys! I am
Just
going
shouting,
to.
greatest hero! While I do that.
I'm going to move to the same square as Petyr Pakar, and I lift my blade up, and I get into my deadly stance, which is one of my skills here. It says, deal 2 damage to a foe in melee. While this is on top of your discarded cards, your next weapon use deals 2 damage to each foe hit. So this turn I'm only dealing 2 damage, so I pull my sword back and I swing at the thorned beast in front of me.
Okay. You slash into him, and as you cut into what's left of his arm, it sort of bursts with sort of pus-like goo that comes out.
Real gross.
Real gross.
Yeah.
And it's sort of in pain.
I
one does.
recoil in horror and turn my head because I'm feeling a little sick now.
Do you go?
Okay.
I'm vigorous. I'm not like iron-willed here.
Right. Have vigor but no constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up it is the creatures, one of which is all up in Len's grill and also Petyr's grill. And he sees Petyr as weak, but he is not very smart, so he's going to go after the one that just attacked him for a little bit of damage. So he uses Slash, dealing 4 damage to you.
Ow.
So he strikes at Len with his claws, but luckily he has no thorns growing on his claws, so you're safe from the infection at least. The other one that was hiding in the bushes now takes a step forward, and he is going to use Blade of Thorns. So he pulls back his arm, and from his hand, a tendril of barbed thorns just bursts out, and he swings them at... Who is this here?
Len.
That's Len. He swings them at Len. You take 5 damage, and you gain this status. So you can only have 1 status, and this status says, at the end of your turn, take 2 damage, and you have a chance to be infected.
Oh my god.
Len is in bad shape now.
So the barb slashes at you, and you can feel one of the barbs embedded in your arm.
Okay, this is a tile effect, correct? Let's please.
Oh wait, sorry, that's not. This supposed to be a status, not a tile
Okay.
effect. Sorry,
Never mind.
Typo.
All right, I'll put that on my health here.
Okay. It's also worth noting that a successful intellect check can remove it.
I step back from you, seeing that you
Yeah.
the damage and being the most intelligent in the group. Step away from you.
Okay, next up is...
I'm bleeding vigorously, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
You do everything with vigor. You bleed so well.
Guys,
It's
look how
amazing.
much blood this
God.
is. This is
Okay,
amazing.
it is Steve the Necromancer's turn. He's on full health. Everyone else is terribly wounded. He's just sitting at the back, just...
You guys alright?
No! Not at all!
Seems there's some commotion going on up there.
Yes!
Emotion.
Commotion!
No, I forgot to mention, the end of Reeve, I gained 4 shield.
Okay, so
so I'm
you're not
doing-
just on full health, you've got
Oh
a
my
barrier over top
So
of your
you're
leg.
our tank.
Well, at least he has avoided damage completely.
So I'll draw another attack thingy card. And... Well, the options that I have. I'm gonna use my Shadow Orb. My
Okay. Your
best weapon.
grandpappy's
My
skull.
grandpappy's skull.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's gonna be the necrotic blast.
Okay.
So the other one was arms reaching out. This one's just
Okay.
like a green fireball, you could say.
Nice.
And I'm gonna shoot the guy, giving these guys a hard time.
Okay. Your blast fires straight at him and explodes him.
Fantastic.
And I believe, because of the way your weapon works, when they explode, their entire body just explodes outwards, dealing 2 damage to the other combatants surrounding them.
In a range of 1?
Oh yeah, so just this one
Just
here.
that one.
Now, you said other combatants.
Oh, sorry, other
foes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you guys are
not
fine.
you guys.
Okay.
You're alive.
We're not
I'm-
closed yet.
I'm just barely alive.
Okay.
I think I will actually move up
You have
1.
more life than me. What are you complaining about?
Just
I don't know that I do. I think I have 3 life left.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you do.
run in front of these guys.
You're bleeding better
Okay.
than me.
You're going to try and
So
gain
well.
their attention.
Yeah.
Can you, if you want, you can try and taunt them. Just give me a charm check to see if you can successfully draw their attention towards you.
This one? Yep.
Just one from the top.
Overwhelming success.
They all see you as the only real threat on this battlefield.
I
This
want to
one-
hear how Steve charms them into being a threat.
I stand up front and go, "Oi, you thorny freaks! Oi, mud!
Oh, this is dramatic.
Not racial.
I'm gonna deal to you a good one, I am."
Oh, oh shit. Oh,
I now see you as a threat.
yeah.
After hearing those harsh words.
I'm in my deadly stance, so be careful.
Oh, steady on.
The largest of the thorn creatures points at you and says, "Quick, take that one out. He seems the actual dangerous one." And on that note, this one here is going to, let's see what abilities they pull out. So this one is going to use Hail of Arrows. So he pulls out 2 of his arrows from his quiver and just sort of fires them up, and they sort of splinter in the air. And at the start of his next turn, everyone on this spot here, which is everyone, is going to take 5 damage.
That would kill me and you.
So you have a turn to you can see the arrows sort of coming down
So
from above.
oh, we've got Aegis.
Those are really high up there, man.
Wow.
I am.
What an archer.
As someone who is very vigorous, I'm impressed with his arm.
He's not even that far away from us.
No.
He could have just
Really, he could have shot at us.
Yeah.
But there were thorns in the way. It's fine.
Oh, that's
so
true.
yeah.
He's gone over the entire
Yes.
jungle to get to us.
And the other one sort of just rah, as he just rushes at you.
Oh, charging.
He is going to not be in range to use any visibilities, so he's going to take another move action instead of attacking.
These guys were a bit premature with their ambush, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were excited.
Yeah.
It is now Petyr's turn.
All right.
Just gonna remind everyone, Petyr is the healer,
You're about to see some
and there are
healing.
2 people about to die.
One of them is the healer.
Yes.
So if I die, no one gets healed.
Right.
This is quickly going to become the amazing adventures of Steve the Necromancer.
It is. All right. So I am going to use Life Wave. Heal yourself or an ally in range 4 for 4 life. That means up to range 4, right? That's not
within range 4.
After healing, if they're not on full life, deal 3 damage to foes in range 1 of them. If they're on full life, they gain 3 shield. So I'm going to heal Len.
It's very kind, but
Yep.
maybe the healer should be alive to heal.
No, because I'm going to heal you and then run away.
This is very courageous of you.
Yeah. So the way I heal you, because we're standing right next to each other, I'm going to hold out my hand and a ball of fire appears in my hand.
Yeah,
And then
I am starting to worry a little bit. Because you're looking directly at
I'm
me.
looking directly at you while I'm doing
Holding a
this.
ball
Are
of
you
fire.
still on fire when you're doing
I'm
this?
smouldering. My eyes are on fire.
This is going to be great!
I'll heal you. I hold you, grip you and say, "Don't worry, I'm safe."
I think I know what I'm doing.
And I crush my hand down and condense the ball of fire into a small pill-sized ball of light.
Okay.
And I shove it in your mouth, and then I run away.
I understand why he's running away, because if he didn't, I would drive my steel through his face.
So you restore 4 life,
Okay.
and then you're obviously not on full life. So what does it look? So the pill explodes, I guess, because he wasn't on full.
The pill.
But it does damage because
Yeah,
he wasn't.
it does damage, but
How does it go about doing that?
Oh, I
now
never
that it's
actually
in
thought
his
that
stomach.
I feel giddy and nauseous, and suddenly fire explodes from my stomach without actually blowing my stomach up.
Okay, good.
A ring of fire emerges and shifts outwards quickly.
I like that. You feel a nice warm glow inside afterwards.
I feel I've got soup belly.
Oh my
Yum.
god! Yes, you got soup belly.
How much damage was that?
That was 3 damage to
That's crazy.
foes in range 1.
Awesome.
So that's all foes in range 1, right? That doesn't say a foe. That's
Yeah, it's all
Len
foes.
thinks to himself, "That seems very strong. Probably too strong."
Well,
Yeah, but dude, it's my one heal ability.
Is it really your only one?
I haven't seen another.
Okay.
I'm the healer with 1 healing spell.
okay. Next up, we have the salt. No, that was Petyr. So it's back to the top to Len.
Len. Okay,
You're
still
there
in my
are
deadly
arrows
stance.
flying towards you.
I am going to use my while I'm in my deadly stance, I start to move gracefully to another square, but as I'm moving, I move quicker and quicker and quicker. I'm using my acceleration ability.
Okay.
So acceleration is an enchantment, and it says gain 3 shield and gain 1 momentum. I gain this enchantment. During my turn, you can spend any amount of momentum to teleport that distance and deal that much damage. So if I have 3 momentum, I can teleport 3 units and deal 3 damage to anything in that square.
So now you have 1 momentum.
And then at the end of my turn, I gain 1 momentum.
Okay.
So I'm going to also now shift away from the square in which there's a million arrows about to fall.
Mm-hmm. 2, but yes, let's go with a million.
2.
Yeah.
2 million. Shit.
And there's nothing in range for me to strike right now. I already used a skill anyway, so
Okay.
that's how I end my turn.
So you gain 3 shield, which is here, and you gain another momentum. So you're up
I
to
do.
2 momentum.
I am feeling very quick right now.
It is now
up to round to the soldiers' turns, and so the one remaining of the sort of crawling on the ground ones runs straight at Steve, and it attempts to cleave, dealing 3 damage to up to 3 foes in melee. Luckily, you're the only one still on that tile, so you take 3 damage as he swipes at you with his claws.
So that's just armor damage, right?
Yeah, you lose your 3 of your shield.
Oh wow, you got...
It strikes against some sort of strange energy barrier, and purple sparks fly off.
Yeah.
Because purple sparks are cool looking.
If you say so.
Sounds good. Okay, it is now Steve's turn.
Alright, Steve, we can do this.
Steve says to himself.
It's weird, he doesn't talk to himself in his own accent.
You should have one more card in your hand.
Yes, I should. Alright, I've picked up 3 of the same ability in a row. I should probably shuffle my deck a little better. Alright, Steve is going to move here.
Mm-hmm. So he's flanking them from the side now?
Yep. But that's mainly just to get out of the way because he's going to cast Dark Awakening.
Oh.
And create a minion from the corpse, which is the little fella I blasted before.
So you now have a thornling zombie creature.
So I pull out some necrotic energy from my grandpappy's skull and just kind of hurl it into the corpse. Rises up.
Cool. Here's your minion has 8 life.
Sweet.
And now at the end of your turn, you get to control your minion.
And so... Not going to worry about moving him. I'm just going to deal 3 melee damage to...
Okay.
You're using your grandfather's skull as a melee weapon as well? Is that...
No.
Like swinging it around? Because you said it was on a rope.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a rope, but I mean, that's just,
That's for convenience.
That's holding a skull.
So the
is
skull
like,
doesn't
it's
run away.
difficult.
Oh, right.
It's like skull on it's like soap on a rope.
Oh, I know. It's
Right.
it's like a Wiimote. You've got it like tied to your wrist.
Yeah,
Drop it.
exactly.
Right, yeah.
He's using the waggle ability.
It's like the witch's offhand, the witch doctor's offhand weapon in Diablo.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
So as your minion strikes the creature, the thorns burst outwards in a small explosion and deals 3 damage to your zombie. And it has a chance to be infected, but that's not really relevant considering he's already dead and already full of thorns.
Yeah.
So
Your thorn zombies
So
now infected with thorns.
3 damage to the thorn zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Extra thorns.
It is now the archer's turn. So this goes off, which does 5 damage to your zombie that was sitting on there. So your zombie bites the dust, I'm afraid, as arrows rain down
Your
on it.
dead minion died.
He's triple dead now.
That's fine. It's fine.
And then he prepares...
Health tokens.
Poor zombie's health tokens. Well, his corpse is back to being a corpse again, I suppose, just lying on the battlefield. And the archer again pulls back and fires another hail of arrows. This time he's aiming for Len, who's on the other side of a patch of thorns.
Archer has a hell of a like a mortar.
Yeah, exactly.
I shake my fist vigorously at the archer.
The large spear-wielding one is going to take a step towards Steve, who is the closest one to him, and he is going to slash at him, dealing 4 damage. Except he sort of swings his spear. Not usually how you use spears, but obviously this guy isn't too practiced with them, and so he slashes at you with his spear, and you take 4 damage.
They say, "Oh, that's not how you use a spear."
Says the guy
Dark thorny go.
Says the guy who's gonna die on my spear.
Oh, them's fighting words they are.
I just shout, "Get a room!"
It is Petyr's turn to make his move.
Petyr is standing there, bloody and beaten, mostly by his own
And
spell.
covered in fire.
Covered in fire. Fire's gone out. It's just smoke. And he is going to use blood fire
Okay, that sounds safe.
Yep. This is a bad guy, right? This is
a bad guy. I mean,
Alright.
bad is subjective, really, but he's trying to murder you.
This is someone I don't like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use Bloodfire, and it will deal 5 damage divided as you choose among foes in range 1. If you're not on full life, and I'm definitely not on full life.
Okay.
So what that is I'm standing there, and as the blood is dripping off me, because I'm bleeding extremely heavily and pooling underneath me.
Someone say vigorously.
I'm not that vigorous.
You're bleeding intelligent.
Yeah, and very charming as well. A third of it is quite charming. And the blood starts to travel towards the bad guy and starts to pool under him, and then, as if it is oil, it catches on fire and races towards him, and then...
That's neat.
And he bursts and explodes into flame and falls to the ground unconscious. And you notice there was some gold that fell out of him while he died. Yeah, just all that was left was a bit of gold and some bones and thorns. So he's now down. The spear wielding one of the thorn creatures sort of looks worriedly at the archer and sort of gives them a look of like, should we be running now?
That guy just killed a dude with his own blood.
This guy's a freak.
The more we kill them, the stronger they get.
That guy's got a skull on a stick. On a rope.
Len, it is your turn.
I lift my arms in front of me, and I start making strange hand gestures and
rude gestures, or
well, I'm flipping the bird, which is actually a magical sign that rifters use.
Doing that.
Where space around me starts to contort, and it expands outward further and further and further until it surrounds myself, Steve, and even Petyr.
Whoa.
And I cast Reality Scatter, which says teleport yourself and up to 3 combatants to a tile in range 2 of them. Deal 3 damage to each foe teleported.
Okay.
And I am going to also include these 2 dudes.
Okay.
And I am going to teleport them here.
Oh, so you're putting everyone in one spot?
Yes.
This one and this one?
Yes. And even these 2, because it says combatant, correct?
Yes.
So everyone lands...
It's up to 3, so you can only pick 3 of the combatants.
Okay, well...
So...
Then... Steve.
Okay.
And...
Okay.
Healer is safe and sound.
And that will do 3 damage to both of the ones teleported.
Even me?
No, not you. Both of the thorn creatures.
That was the end of my deadly stance, incidentally.
Oh, right. Oh, so...
Didn't really do much.
Okay.
Deadly stance.
Deadly stance said deal 2 damage to a foe in melee while it's on top of your discard cards. Your next weapon use deals 2 damage.
How many times has your turn ended, out of interest? Just with that thorns
That's a
effect
good
on
point.
you?
Twice.
Okay.
So I've lost 2 armor, and then another armor and a life.
And also you have 2 chances to be infected. Plus a third one because the thorns just exploded on one of these creatures as you struck him.
Ow.
So please take another 3 damage
1,
and then...
2... Oh! My blink switch has triggered, which doesn't really make any sense because it says switch locations with the foe other than your attacker in range 2. They take the rest of the damage from the attack.
Okay, so you can switch place with any foe, basically, which is the same thing.
We're all on the same tile.
But they take their last 1 damage from those thorns.
So then,
this one here.
Yes.
Oh, which one do you want it to be?
Bow guy
guy.
seems to be causing a lot of havoc on the battlefield.
Okay. The last thorn sort of like reflects, or like you switch place with him, and he takes the thorn to the chest and falls down to the ground.
Ow.
Now, can you give me 3 checks to see how well you can avoid being infected by the thorns?
This is using intellect, correct?
No. These are
is
just basic checks.
Okay. Oh, this is the wrong deck. I have had a worthy attempt.
Okay. Go ahead and reshuffle again. Oh, unless you want to, you can choose whether to reshuffle or not.
I won't reshuffle. I've fumbled.
Okay.
And I fumbled again.
Oh dear, the infection, you can feel the thorn start to take hold, and you feel like it just sort of burns a bit. So you have been affected by the curse of thorns, and you lose 2 maximum life. So just give 2 of your life cards to me. Yeah, just those ones.
1, 2.
Every hour you make a check. If you fail the check, you lose one of your life cards. If you succeed, you restore one of your life cards. And if you've lost 5 life cards to this, you become Thorn touched.
Okay.
Which
So
Is it? Am I still infected with Blade of Thorns as well?
that is, I guess that's not on you now that you've become. Yep, no, that's removed.
Okay.
So you now have thorns growing in you, so Blade of Thorns will no longer need to do anything. So as the archer goes down, the other one sort of screams, "No!" And he sort of like runs over to, well, just jumps, falls down next to him and like grabs him and is like, "No, don't die on me!"
oh my god.
Were these guys lovers?
We can only speculate.
He seems pretty upset. He says, he looks up at you and says, "Please, just leave us.
Us? It's just you left, man.
He's still alive. I can still save him." He like picks up the guy and it looks like he's gonna go to leave. Are you going to let him?
He attacked us. What do you guys think?
I'm way down the
Petyr?
battlefield. I'm just going, what's going on?
Steve,
Kill
what do
him!
you want to do?
Oi, they showed no mercy for my wife, Myrtle. You'll get no...
The Thorn one
And
looks
it's
at you and
brutal.
is like, that wasn't me. We're not all the same. We're not all feral like those ones.
Then why did you attack us?
Because you're approaching the Citadel.
Yeah,
And
let us through.
but we have to defend the Citadel.
Why do you have to defend the Citadel?
That's where the rest of us are. The ones who can still think and feel.
You mean there's more token freaks like you up in them Citadel?
He goes silent, not sure what your intent is with
I'm
the...
not sure what you're saying. Your accent is...
You wearing me? Hey! You hearing the words I'm saying? You speak English?
It's not so much that it's the language, it's the fact that he doesn't know what your intent it would be. The fact that you're saying mean things about his people, and wanting to know if they're all in that direction.
Tell you what, you tell me what's in that Citadel, I'll let you walk free with your little man there.
There's nothing for you there. It's just
Oh, so you're protecting nothing, that's it, right? We're coming close to nothing, you want to ambush us?
Steve!
that is where the Thorn Sire is, and where she has gathered those of us with free will.
Right, well I want to have words with this here Thorn Sire.
The people won't be happy to just let you walk in there.
No, you don't give a hen's arse.
Well, that's...
Steve,
Come on, lads. We're going to the Citadel.
what's going on down there? I'm at the back of the battlefield here.
Stuff your flames
I thought
and
we
get
were
up here.
I cast Meteor.
I wave vigorously.
He picks up the mortally wounded archer and he carries him off into the bushes, like disappearing.
I call out, is there any cure? I really need a cure!
He pokes his head back. It's like, if there was a cure, we would have taken it long ago. Once it's got hold of you, once it gets around your heart, there's no stopping it.
Gasp. I say we kill him.
Oh, you say you're fucked, mate.
So they haven't actually seen whether you're thorn touched. Are you going to let them know that you've been hit by one of the thorns?
Who exactly?
Oh well, Len,
My allies or the enemies who haven't seen it?
Steve and Petyr
Okay.
aren't aware that Len is thorn touched. Or has been infected, like is starting to be infected. It's not so bad that you're like screaming out in pain
Right
now, but you can feel it happening.
Yeah.
It hasn't reached your
Feel
heart yet.
tingly.
Yes, painfully tingly.
I
But
feel thirsty as well. Is that a thing? I think that might be a thing.
Probably just the mead. It's-
Right, yeah. I had a lot of mead nuts.
Gassy. Yeah, but...
Yeah. Are you feeling infected
Those
as well?
are unrelated to the
feeling
thorns.
gassy.
So are you going to let the others know, or are you
I-
going to just keep it to yourself?
I will not. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about.
Okay.
But secretly, I'm very, very concerned.
Okay. So are you going to let... He's about to walk away into the bushes. You're just going to let him go?
Whose turn is it?
I'm too far to really do anything. Like
Steve's turn, technically.
Yeah.
You let them... They escape off into the bushes, and you
Let 'em
lose
go.
sight of them.
I tell Steve, should have got him. Look how injured I am. This is, should finish the job.
But I saw the lust in his eyes. I know how it feels.
the lust or the loss. Like, what did you just say there?
Oh, but-
could be both.
They're a bit of both, really.
That accent.
We've all fell for a corpse.
Oh man, I get lonely out here. Quickly call.
Feel how thorny are you?
The battle is concluded.
Okay.
Right, first thing I will do is like take that gold that that dude dropped.
You've recovered 3 gold coins
Yes.
from the battlefield.
I want to check for other valuables or things that could be of use nearby.
Okay, if you're going to go digging through our thorn-touched possessions, you have to be wary of the thorns. Although you don't. But...
I'm not too concerned right now.
Okay. Let's see what he has.
Oh, careful there. You're digging through there, but...
I think I'll be alright. I think I'll be alright.
Sure? Like, you don't want to get pricked at all. Like, it's real bad.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man.
Maybe.
You're pale. You're looking a little pale. Are you alright?
I see you get pricked by those thorns.
Your
I'm
voice-
going to be mighty iron.
Isn't the voice change part of the...
Probably not.
He looks like he has a very old and both sap and mold covered scroll. But
Scrolls. I love reading.
you sure do.
Literature.
What have you come across there? What did you find, Len?
I found a scroll of illusion. It's a relic, and it says one use only. You conjure a visual and auditory illusion. It can fill up to 4 tiles and appears completely lifelike, but has no tangible presence. It can only be destroyed by water.
Okay. So, yes, you'll just have that on your person. You can use that during combat by taking up your turn, or you can just use it whenever you feel like it.
Now,
Put on a nice little show.
do I need to make a check for my Curse of Thorns at all? When does that happen?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
It
But
says every hour.
every
right?
hour of game time as
Oh,
opposed to
game
real
time.
as opposed to
Oh,
real
okay.
time. Like we might need to start a stopwatch.
It's going to get real bad.
I'm gonna shuffle my.
Let's sleep for
count.
24 hours. Oh, I'm really tired, guys. I need to rest a lot, actually. I'm bleeding. Actually, no. I'll cauterize the wounds with fire.
Yeah, so you guys are able to patch up your wounds. You can reshuffle both your life and your skills.
So we're back to full health.
Back to full health, except for one of you, because he's lost 2 of his maximum life cards.
I feel pale, vigorously pale. Feel vigorously pale.
How are we doing for time?
We can go a little bit more. And
Yeah, let's see where the next little bit takes us.
Okay, so you are now fully recovered and able to take off and continue heading towards
How
the
long
citadel.
has that been, though, for us to recover?
Perhaps 10 minutes. And
Not an hour?
fully patched up. No, there's something so eager to watch him turn into a monster. I mean, I'm sure you'll resist it.
No,
I'm
it's
sure
fine.
it'll be
Totally
fine.
fine.
So, you head towards the city of Mightstone. The closer to the city you get, the more the path is overtaken by foliage. Trees planted by the regents in the past now grow wild, leaning up against the city wall. The portcullis is down, but it looks like in the past a hole was torn in the portcullis, though now thorns grow over top of that hole. There is old siege equipment actually strewn around the walls. Plants have grown over much of them. Can you guys give me a spot check from your talent deck?
Looking around.
Your gun.
Excellent attempt.
Ooh, 2
Excellent.
attempts.
A worthy attempt.
Okay, well,
I got a little distracted.
Vigorously
by
working.
nothing in
You were
particular.
working out with your weight set.
Yeah.
Vigorously.
I might be dying soon, but at least
I was looking around, and then I noticed as I turned my head, My shoulder's looking pretty good.
You saw your reflection in a
Flexing
pool
a
of
little
water
bit.
and were like,
Yeah.
So, hard to spot among the branches of a nearby tree, you make out the movement of a young boy, his body punctured by thorns. As soon as he notices that you've spotted him, he starts scrambling up the tree. You might need to act quickly to stop him reporting your presence to other thorn soldiers.
Fireball.
Are you going to fireball?
Fireball.
Fireball this boy?
Fireball.
I'm gonna try and climb the tree.
I'm afraid you haven't noticed just yet.
Oh,
You're
right.
too busy checking out.
I'm going to.
It's just a reflex of mine.
Are you aiming for the boy or for the tree branch that he's on?
So we shouldn't startle you at any point. Get a fireball to the
It's
face.
just a reflex. Yeah. Fireball. I aim at
during
him.
movies. It's just like scary movies every now and then. Just
Boom! Not another TV.
You mean plays in this world?
Yes.
Have burned down many a play theatre.
Killed many
I
a
am
minstrel.
at the boy. I just see movement. Fireball.
Okay, go ahead and make a skill check to see how brilliantly you obliterate.
Fireball. Fumble.
Fumble. Okay, so the fireball goes wide and just like singes the leaves off the tree branch beside him, and he just like gasps and sort of like falls down a few branches in surprise.
We got him.
Got who? Well, there's a kid. Guys, there's a kid on that tree.
Who said that? Fireball.
He gasps, please, mercy, sir.
Okay, so we're walking over to where he fell down.
Oh, he hasn't fallen all the way down. He's still up the tree.
Oh, he's still up there.
But
Okay.
like barely holding down, and he's now like on one of the bottom branches.
Oh, okay.
So if you can perhaps grab him with your ghost hand, but he's out of reach of. Like,
That's a fantastic idea, actually.
Ghost hand,
That is a good
actually.
idea.
Okay, you're gonna pull him down.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You get down here, like young man.
Okay.
I'm preparing another fireball in hand.
Okay. Do you want to just give me a check to see how
Yep.
successfully?
That's fumble.
Okay.
We are terrible, terrible heroes.
You hold up the skull and the hand flies out and just grabs for the boy, and he like sort of twists to the side and just grabs the branch, and so I guess you just shake the branch for a minute until he falls down.
Hey, come down. Come down.
No, that's mighty embarrassing.
Isn't fate wonderful? And the boy sort of like falls and sort of lands on all fours. He looks like ready to make a dash for it, and he's so what do you want? What do you want? Why are you here?
We asked
Boys.
you the same question.
Well, I'm a scout. I'm looking out for nasty human things that might come and attack the city.
Why would they attack the city?
That seems to be what people do.
Well, I think we got pretty good cause to attack your city. You've been turning people into thorn bushes all your lives.
By the way, is there a cure? I'm asking for a friend.
He turns to Steve and says that wasn't our choice, and that wasn't us that have been running around like wild ones. We're different, I swear. And as for the cure, no.
Dang it.
Would you quit asking already? I mean, come on.
Who's this friend you keep asking him?
I don't know.
I thought we were the only people you knew.
He lives in Carmada. It's a neighboring city. You don't know him.
It's not a neighboring city. But yes, carry on. Yeah. You can do a charm check to convince them that
Okay.
everything is all right.
I'm gonna flex vigorously at the kid. I'm fine.
I'm actually the most.
Look how
charming.
fine I am. Look at the shape of my body. Ignore that thorn. That's the decoration.
Go ahead and make a check to see if
Okay.
you can fool them.
Oh, wrong deck. Excellent attempt.
Excellent
well
attempt.
done.
Oh yeah, he looks even better than usual.
I've been lifting
Than
my
usual.
weights.
Yeah. Usually he's like super buff, but now he looks like he's still super buff, but like more.
Oiled up.
I thought
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought this was the kid talking. Wow, you look even better. How do you know this kid?
My friend knows him.
I say you look vigorously well.
The kid looks at you as if he knows something about you, but these guys are like, he must have just known him once or something like that. Because it seems perfectly normal. Okay, the kid sort of says, please just stay out of the city. It's like they'll just have to attack you if they see you.
Well, look, we need to go through the city to get to where we're headed. Is there any safe path through the city or around the city.
You're going to need to give me a charm check to see if you can convince him.
I'm very charming.
Okay, let's see if he can.
Utter failure.
You can use your charm to
I
make
do
another
have
attempt.
a charm which I'm going to use.
What did you tell the kid? That
That
when he, in your first attempt.
What you mean for utter failure?
Yeah.
I said, listen, sonny boy, child. Through the city we need to go.
Yeah, I can see why that would fail. Uh-huh.
My second attempt was a fumble, so it's not much better. Let me rephrase that. City go through we need. You us help. You must. Fireball.
Do you do fireball or do you just say fireball?
I say fireball.
He looks embarrassed for you and says, "I'm sorry, sir. It's too dangerous for both them and for you. But I won't report you to them. I won't tell anyone.
You best not.
Who would you be reporting us to?
There are much more skilled fighters than I who protect the city, patrol the rooftops and the city basements.
Who's in charge?
Well, I suppose the Thornsire is the one we answer to.
Where is the Thornsire located?
Why are you asking for
A friend of mine wants to know. He lives in Karamnanda.
Wait, was that the same town as?
Yeah, same town. Same town.
Can you give me a skill check? It might be fairly difficult.
Okay.
You're going to need an excellent attempt. Excellent attempt.
Well done.
He's like, oh, I knew a guy from Krambambara.
Yeah.
She's in the Citadel, in the most obviously the most heavily fortified place. Although the Thorn touched go in and out as needed.
Why are you protecting her?
She's the one who had brought us together and who guided us here. She's the only reason we're still alive.
I think we need to talk to her. What do you guys think?
I'd like to have words.
How are we going to get in?
Fire.
Never mind him, he gets nervous around children.
Can we get through this
I'm
gate?
not normally allowed to be near children. I've burned down too many.
Not too surprising. Too many fireballs.
Child, what's your name?
I am a fire hazard.
You worked for a bit in a children's hospital.
I worked in-
accidentally fed them the wrong fire pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked the child what his or her name is.
Zara. My name's Zara.
Still don't know your gender. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm a
Doesn't
boy.
matter.
I'm clearly a
that's-
boy.
Yep.
No, it's polite to ask someone's gender.
What gender are you?
What are your preferred pronouns?
Look,
But I should probably get back to scouting in case any other any other humans or something.
I have a better offer for you.
Oh?
How about you join us, and you guide us to your Thorn Sire?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
We don't want to harm your people necessarily.
Can you give me a bluff check? No, a skill check. Wrong deck.
Wrong deck.
Again.
I always go for them.
It's
A
'cause
worthy
what happens
attempt.
is-
Worthy attempt. He's like, I'll come with you as far as the city walls, but
the city walls are like just there.
get over the city walls. I mean, I don't think you can just walk over the walls unless you have my expertise.
I think we're gonna follow this kid. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yep. We still don't like these talking freaks, but it's the best we got.
All right. Well,
Why does he keep calling? That's really mean.
find out what happened.
You killed me, wife!
We're gonna end this episode here. We're gonna find out what happens at the city walls and beyond, starting in the next episode. So tune in next week. We'll be back in a week's time.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah, and we'll catch
See
you
you
up
next
then.
week.
Bye.
Farewell.
across some sort of goblin. It looks like imagine Nick's face, but like
Kill it!
It's too pretty!
Too beautiful to live.